the late Apex Racing TV show for covering the world of sim racing, along with all the action that is going on in the Apex brands. Once again, my name is Sam Fitzpatrick, and once again, we have Sampsoid, David Sampson, alongside. And we have, once again, a busy week. We've had 3 weeks in a row of lots of sim racing news. Perhaps the biggest news story today, which we'll be covering in a bit of detail, is EA Sports WRC. It's been out for a couple of weeks. We haven't really had a chance to talk about it because it has been so busy, but we are going to have a look at what the reactions have been over the last couple of weeks. We're also going to cover updates for Rennsport, something coming out earlier today. Going to discuss how big a deal is it, and yeah, is this promising news for Rennsport? More updates on IndyCar and motorsport games, some predictable things happening on that one, and also looking ahead to the DreamHack in Jönköping for Apex Racing Team for the finale of ESL R1 Season 2. And also a bit of fun with Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing League at the end. David, how has the past week been for yourself?
Good, thank you. We've got lots to talk about. This is what was mentioned before the show. Why? Why is there so much every week?
It's not usually this interesting. This is you've come in. You're so privileged in all of this. You're like, oh, all this stuff is always going on in sim racing. Sim racing is dull most of the time, David.
It's meant to be.
I feel like because we used to do this show as like a pre-recorded thing, and we had to cover a lot of hardware, which I never particularly enjoy covering because unless you have the thing yourself, you're sort of going, this person says it's good, and this person says it's bad. And when we go to the WRC, we will be doing some of that. But with hardware, it's particularly annoying. But there's so much stuff going on with different games being launched, different games being delayed, and it's just spicy. It's political.
I'm going to discuss something we're not even going to discuss, but even on the horizon, we have lots of games coming. Lots. I was watching with my breakfast this morning. I was watching a video of like 8 exciting racing games coming next year. I was like, 8. I clicked it on, and I was like, okay, 8. I was like, wow. So yeah, I think there's lots on the horizon. Yeah, I don't think it's not just money and business opportunities. It's just a lot of hype and interest around it, and this is good because since the pandemic, it has felt like it's sloped away because obviously the IRL drivers are getting back out on the real track. But no, yeah. THR SimSport in chat. Hey, sim racing fans. Hello.
Yes, that is. Wait. Oh, I'm sorry, THR. Is that Nick Horn? From Porsche Cup, I'm ever so sorry, but we had an absolute laugh on Porsche Cup, and we will be showing some Porsche Cup action later today. Let's jump into EA Sports WRC, the first game developed by Codemasters since it changed from the previous developer, and it's been out for a couple of weeks. And the reviews are in. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, it's all right. It's a decent opener, which has some improvements over the last few games and some weaknesses over the last few games. Some improvements on Dirt Rally, some weaknesses on Dirt Rally. We've got a couple of reviews that we'll go through, but what has been your sort of impression of the game? What have you gathered from it?
Well, it is the kind of rally game that I would get into if I'm going to get in rally game. I've heard it called Dirt Rally 3.0 Plus, which is a good thing. Not a sim. It's not. The physics haven't been called realistic. The rain hasn't been called. The modelling hasn't been called realistic.
Not really ever the case with Codemasters games. I don't mean that as a criticism or anything, but that's not necessarily.
But I think what it has hit on, the impressions I'm getting, is a fun career mode that people enjoy actually playing, and it's fun to play. Enjoyable, good laugh. I have tried lots of rally games. I know Richard Burns, or it is like the holy grail of rally on PC, but Dirt Rally 2.0 for me, every time I picked it up, I spent hours playing it. Because am I very good? No. Am I having fun? Did it look good? The experience, I enjoyed it a lot. And me and my friends have a couple of online races, and I enjoyed myself. So I usually swing away. I'm never about that usually. I'm a sim racer. I focus on the online competition realism, blah blah blah. But for rally, because it's not my niche, I applaud this technique.
Yes. Yeah, it's very impressive. I think rallying is the most impressive motorsport, honestly, and I think by a country mile as well. Frankly, I think other sports are dangerous enough. Like, I mean, like drag racing, for example. But like in terms of the skill involved, yeah, for me, rallying is the most impressive in terms of the one that I would have no shots at if I tried it. Whereas I'm talking as like, oh yeah, I could drive an F1 car, but like, I mean, I'm going to be big-headed. I think I could, like, with the amount of effort. But I think a rally, I think I'd always be further away from the top rally drivers than would be against
Okay,
a top single-seater
that's a
driver.
good better way of
Is what
wording
I'm
it. Yeah.
saying it.
I
So,
don't think we'd be able to keep our neck muscles alive for longer than a lap
oh,
in
I'm
F1.
talking like 3 laps. Like
One.
after that. Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I couldn't turn the wheel.
Or brake.
This is so hypothetical. It is incredible of me saying, "Oh yeah, I could drive an F1 car," but obviously I couldn't. What am I talking about? I've lost any credibility. I realise that it's very tricky. Please don't criticize me. Hopefully Nick Horn in the chats doesn't criticize me. Fantastic to have you along, Nick, and everyone else who is tuned in, and everyone else who is listening back on podcast as well. So 81% Metacritic score, which is good.
It's not bad, yeah.
I will go through a weak review and a good review. IGN giving it one of the lowest reviews that I've seen, a 6 out of 10. They mentioned that is the first game with Unreal Engine. Part of the reason why they've gone for Unreal Engine is to have longer courses. 30-kilometer rally stages are now common in the game. That's double what has been on previous games. They have 600 kilometers of stages, 200 stages in total, and 16 locations. I think the most common criticism, and I saw this even in the more positive review from Eurogamer, which we'll go through in a bit, is there have been problems with stuttering. Now, this is a problem in every game, but in a rally game, it is really bad. You
yeah,
need
for
every
sure.
frame to render very nicely, and this stuttering, which perhaps might be addressed eventually, is a big problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, I've heard about the graphical issues and the consistency with even with crashing. I assume the stuttering and the crashing are somewhat related. It does look like it needs pretty optimistically quite powerful hardware, even though this is like more of a single screen focus. So it does seem tough for all these Unreal Engine games that are coming out. I mean, I'm not one. I used to work in the game development industry, and I'm one to defend that it's more about the studio behind who develops it rather than the
Yeah, yeah,
engine. But for some reason, racing and Unreal, I don't know if there's libraries lots of companies are leaning on, but we seem to have this looks over substance issue that's kept cropping up, whether it's ACC, whether it's Rennsport, whether it's WRC. Looks fantastic. The consistency in frames, not so much. So I hope it can be addressed, but of course they're going to say that. I'm not going to come out in front of me like, "Nah, we tried."
This is an inherent issue which will never be solved. Also, some screen tearing as well has been reported. At least IGN weren't that impressed by the graphics. It's not necessarily the huge update or upgrade, I should say, that maybe we were hoping for, where it'd be go for another level. Perhaps that was unrealistic. And of course, this is a new engine that they're dealing with. I assume it's Unreal Engine 5.
I would assume so.
So it would be bizarre to go with 4. I remember Rennsport basically lost a year of development because they switched to 5 a couple of years ago when they realised that that was going to be the future. And
5, yeah.
It is 5, yeah. So perhaps this is early in the road of some improvements. But yeah, IGN basically talk about how there's a few kind of clipping bushes into the cockpit, and it's missing some nice other elements. They mentioned that the previous games had like rabbits scurrying across the road, and it's like little bits like that and birds and whatever, which aren't really there anymore. Also, the dirt accumulation on the car doesn't seem to happen over the course of a stage, which is a little bit weak. And I've also seen some criticism as well of the water effects as well, when it comes to puddles in particular, and the way that the rain saturates the stages in previous games as saturated different parts of courses. Now it seems a bit more universal, and the rain doesn't quite mix as well. And that's sort of the same with the snow as well.
Wait, racing games have rain?
Yeah, that's a luxury. Like, what, sir? No, 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 no. We'll take anything with that one. Interestingly, IGN gave it a lower score than Dirt Rally 2, 6 versus 8.5, which does beg the question: is this worth getting if you've already got Dirt Rally 2?
I can't answer that. I know Dirt Rally 2 is a lot of fun. It was not. When it's a fun game, I don't want more, better graphics, more frames. I just want more, enough accessible content to keep me entertained for a long enough time. And Dirt Rally 2 had that for me. But yeah, I can't answer that. I've seen people who enjoy, Dirt Rally 3.0. That's exactly what I've heard. I know people who have got into WRC and enjoyed it, stay enjoying it, and it seems for a long term. I always say I watch a lot of streamers and everything, but the streamers that have gone to do WRC are spending a lot longer there than they normally would for your typical game release. So that's always a promising sign for me. I think it's always good to spot the streamers because obviously we get that initial influx of the sponsored part of.
Yeah, and people just overhyped it. It sort of annoys me whenever something comes out. Same with iRacing.
Correct, because everyone.
It's like when the W13 came out, and it's like, oh my god, this is like a breakthrough in sim racing. It's like, it's just a Formula 1 car. It's not even that accurate.
Correct.
Like, stop. You were probably one of them, David. Were you?
No.
Yeah, good, well done.
I couldn't keep the thing on the track. I probably just went and did something else. No, my favourite thing about when the F1 car dropped was everyone trying to go, how do we put a Red Bull livery on this? I don't want a Merc livery. And it's like, no, it's not a livery. You can't. And they're like, yeah, but we'll just use train paint. So they're like, no, you can't. And then the forums had to be addressed. And they were like, anyone seen blah, blah, blah? It's like, wait, this is a bannable, like,
yeah,
the anti-Red Bull rule. But no, I get it. You can't just stick a livery on this car because now all that work Merc's put in is gone.
Yeah. It's totally not gone anyway because no one drives it.
True.
Yeah, so that was bad. Yeah, so some of the negatives. I've been very negative so far, but I've gone through the negative review. What do you expect? Some of the positives in the negative review: strong car lineup. There are 70 cars just from the 1960s, which is impressive. Generally, they've really gone hard on the historic content, which is really good because rallying fans, they're going to want to drive old cars. Also positive about the handling model, just about the sense of weight. Aquaplaning is very much a thing. So IGN were a bit negative on it. But I think generally it's like a functioning game. Review from Eurogamer, they go into a bit more depth when it comes to career mode. They gave it 4 out of 5 stars, so a fair bit higher than IGN. They mention a lot about the career mode. Fairly impressed by it. The fact that you got a bit more of an in-depth career mode where you make your own team, you are your own driver, and you have to win races. You have to do stuff like go to a press event, or you can go for a motor show, or you can rest, or you can do a talent hire.
I'd rest.
You can do lots of things. And you've got to balance it all out to please your shareholders, win races, and do lots of other things. It seems like this game has a good amount of depth for the career mode.
Yeah, THR in chat, Forza got dropped like a stone. I'm sure he's talking in reference to the streamers. Again, we saw a bunch of sponsored streams. And then once that's over, it was dropped like a stone. So yeah, I think, like you say, the depth is there. People seem to be enjoying it. It's kept people's attention. It's still pulling amazing views on Twitch. So yeah, I mean, maybe I'll give it a try. But then I have to take off the Formula rim because then people are in the comments and no, you can't,
Just zoom in your camera or your webcam and they can't see anything. Just see your nose.
Lovely. I think I'd rather the wheel comments than the nose comments.
Online, I've seen, and also Eurogamer basically, again, complimenting the strong historic car lineup. They admit that the stuttering issues are a bit weak. Also, strong point about the career mode. You don't have to start in the lower categories. You can just go straight into WRC, which is a nice addition. Online, I've seen some criticism about the rain. I mentioned that earlier on, just puddles and stuff not being very good. And also the career mode is a bit too limiting with car ownership budgets, where like I think basically you can take part in like WRC, for example. You buy a car for WRC, but it means that you can't take part in historic events in your career. And so it's just a bit limiting where people are like, I
Gotcha.
want to do both. So
Yeah.
there's some frustration when it comes to that. I'm sure they can, because in the end you want some reward. You want it to be rewarding to be able to take part in those events. But at the moment you basically can't do both, it seems. So there's been some criticism about that. But generally, Eurogamer giving it a positive review and IGN giving it a mediocre review.
At best. No, I will give it a try. It does look fun. Hopefully I can call it Dirt Rally 3.0. But yeah, it's got a lot to prove to them. But as I say, I think reviews overall, because this is still EA Sports, right? You said, is it Codemasters the developers? Yeah. But you know, EA comes with to get any positive review from an EA game says a lot, I think, today.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of inherent
Interesting,
hate.
pretty much no mention of EA in either of you. Like,
No.
because we mentioned it a couple of weeks ago. It's like, oh, is microtransactions going to ruin the new game?
Yeah.
No mention of it in neither of you. So it's not a big deal. Obviously, maybe over time they'll try to monetize it more, but no real sign of it at the moment. I think there's like 2 time trials which are behind a paywall or something.
Couldn't
But,
resist.
like,
So close.
Yeah.
So close.
But I don't think it's gonna ruin the game for people. But
Codemasters had already almost got out the building, then someone let out the window. 2 time trials. Like, no, come on. Like, yeah, 2 time trials. Why? We tried.
yeah. Anything more you want to say about that?
No. Unless we got any questions in chat. THR, Jim got called an EA shill on
Twitter.
X because he liked WRC. Yeah, Jim was
People hate EA, but I don't know. Money, right?
Yeah, money.
I am reluctant to hate on companies when they're beholden to their shareholders and they're very good at making money. Obviously, it's not good for them to ruin a game, but they haven't ruined this game, so it's all right.
So we're talking about EA. One game. I'm sure you remember it. Plants vs Zombies, the original.
Sure, never played it, but yeah, it was big
so
when I was like 12.
I had the first iPad, and me and my wife loved this game. Like, loved it. We played this like it was a console, right? And then Plants vs 2 was announced. It was in develop, and we were just couldn't be more excited. We'd got to the point where it was in this unlimited mode, where it's unlimited levels, but the difficulty just ramped up. Loved it. Anyway, second one got announced, and then the studio behind it, I can't remember who they were back then. It'll come to me. They got bought by EA. And I just thought, an injection of cash, you know.
Yeah.
Oh my God, was I so
What a
wrong?
vote of confidence for this game.
It almost become like a pay to win, where your typical progression that you moved through, there were obstacles that couldn't be passed through unless you bought the character and not earned the character. I don't mind hard grafting something or having a challenge, but this was credit card.
Yeah.
And it got bad and bad. When are we going to see David display his rally skills on stream? I have no skills in rally.
That's from Lewis Ward.
Yes, hi,
our
Lewis.
colleague. Thank you for that input, Lewis. When are we going to see Lewis drive on stream WRC? That's what we want to see.
Now, when are we going to see Lewis here?
Yeah.
Leaning in.
I'm not
saying
sure
hello?
if Lewis has ever been on camera for Apex stuff.
I told you it's our mission next time.
But I think he should always be this anomalous person.
Oh,
And
you
like
think?
whenever Apex win awards, when we win like, I don't know, Company of the Year in 50 years' time, and he comes up on stage and it's like, yes, it's been me all this time, pushing the company forward.
On that subject, we got we did a meeting with ESL during one of the races, and it was Lewis they contacted about some screen time with the team, and his name got used. So when it came through on the Apex Racing, it said his name in the bottom left, but it wasn't. It was Alex, myself, and Elvis, and him behind the camera.
Anyone watching along, draw Lewis Ward. Who do you think? What do you think he looks like? Maybe. If you're listening,
he looks like his emoji.
Yeah, that's basically him. Isn't
Yes,
it?
it's
exactly.
him.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
Perfect. Yeah.
Very good point. Rennsport updates. There have been. This was earlier today.
Moments. Yeah, this made the cut
Hours
by
ago.
this made the cut by minutes.
So there have been some updates for Rennsport. It's it's some updates. It's not revolutionary.
No.
2 new cars. This is a new class. What class is it? They haven't said. We think it is TCR. And when we say we think, we're almost certain. Because, of course, your friends in the last stream said about TCRs. And, of course, when you were in Munich, they were talking about TCRs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, obviously they mentioned about LMDH as well, but certainly only one of them. And the other one would have to be something like BMW, but a Porsche going to share the limelight on a game they own. Sorry, a game they're partnered with. TCRs, I think so.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so. Which would be great if they're done right. But at the moment, they've listed the cars as redacted and redacted. But they did mention that they fall under one class. There was a big physics update on the Praga, but by physics update, I think they honestly meant
they've changed all the cars a bit, but the Praga is the big one. I've seen some big criticism of the Praga from the people who've driven it, but apparently it's basically being completely reworked. So, but all the GT3s, which are the existing cars in the game, they are updated as well. Maybe that'll make it better. They are dropping 15,000 keys for people. Do you think there's? Yeah, I guess they'll all be taken, won't they? It's crazy how people don't have that. But I feel like, is it still a closed beta?
it is, yeah.
Is it a closed beta once you've shared 15,000 keys?
Yes, because you're still only inviting people.
Okay.
But
That's a lot of keys. I mean, how many keys have they given away so far? I feel like it's
they
only a
claim
few
X,
thousand.
but most people say 15.
Yeah. I haven't got one.
No, they did make a promise. The one promise they made, obviously the 15,000, but they also addressed the elephant in the room, was that they said, we will also make sure that anyone who signed up in 2022 will get a key before the end of the year. What they're saying is, because when they first addressed this, they were like, oh, it's first come, first serve. And then people who are like, oh, I might register, got a key. And people are like, I've been registered for months. Like, why aren't I getting it? And then this became a thing, and people started it became almost like on Twitter, people posting picture of the email they got on the same day Rennsport announced the closed beta invite program, them getting the thank you for joining the queue, we'll let you know when it's available, and still no key.
Yep. And and half the ESLR1 YouTube chat is, where's my stream key? Give me my stream key. My game key, sorry.
So the Praga, yes, had a significant downforce change to emulate how it is IRL. So yeah, like you say, that one definitely has had they've changed the behavior of the car and heaps more downforce, because I think they're just copy and paste one of the GT3s, chucked on a shell, made a few tweaks and gone Praga, and everyone else was like, this is not a Praga, and they're like, yeah, we'll fix it in the next version.
2 new tracks,
Yep.
which we've already discussed in previous weeks, Daytona and Road Atlanta, which are good tracks. Generally, they've got some good tracks at the moment, so keep up the good work on picking good circuits.
Rolling starts are actually going to put into the beta.
Yep.
Which is good, because it didn't look like it worked in the other version, but hopefully they fixed it.
Yeah.
So they're obviously confident.
Yeah,
I didn't actually expect to get Daytona, and I didn't expect to get rolling starts. So
that's good. Yeah, they're sorts of synonymous, aren't they? You really need rolling starts if you're going to get Daytona. Sorts of related. Well, it is related because it was in the announcement. The PESC Germany is going to Rennsport, going to have a 25k prize pool. I think you were looking into a bit more depth than I was in terms of how it's like going to be set up.
I read rumors and stuff,
okay,
but
sure.
yeah, I think it's going to be open participation. There's going to be two 60-minute sessions on the Friday and Saturday to qualify you.
Okay.
So you only get an hour, so it's not like you can just grind over 24
Can you do
hours.
both?
I believe so.
Yeah, okay.
I didn't see a restriction. I think this is from interviews and stuff. Like we haven't had the hard details posted yet. We don't even know dates. We know the tracks, ironically enough.
Yeah.
We assume you have to be German. Again, we haven't got any rules on this, but it wouldn't make sense not to allow anyone. But yeah, it's called the PECCD. I think PECCD. Pekada. But so why did we say this is interesting news? Yes, this is the first Rennsport competition, not ESL.
Yeah,
that's the first. It's also a first that they've just taken a slice of iRacing's cake.
Mm.
But as THR mentioned in chat, there is a bigger piece of cake because this feels like a test. Porsche's gone, all right, we'll give you one event. Prove to us. Prove this is everything you're telling us it can be. If so, we'll give you the full cake shot being Pesk.
Yes. Yeah. It's the change that we've sort of been thinking might happen. We thought even maybe it would happen next year, perhaps. But obviously, Rennsport hasn't quite developed at the same rate as what they were hoping would be the case. And yeah, that's certainly the way that it seems to be gearing towards. It does feel like only a matter of time. I mean, I think Rennsport will eventually become a game which can host a championship like that, but certainly it doesn't feel like. Well, you could probably host it. After all, ESLR1 is the. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to call it the biggest sim racing competition because obviously we're very much involved in it. But I appreciate many of you watching along and listening along. I like, what? What's that? And so, but it is still a big event and still like big production value, and it runs very well. I think generally, I know it gets a bit of stick, but I think it generally works very well. But yeah, it would need to be a very changed PESC format if they were going to host it with only 12-car grids being the max at the moment.
So my worry is people don't realise the domino effect that losing PESC could cause. Because if we lose PESC and it proves to work, I could see Sim Cup going the following season immediately. And then not only would we see esport teams close or scramble to convert to a Rennsport model, which it's not easy. You can't just bring all your sponsors along. You know, some sponsors might be completely conflicted. Like if let's say you're running an esport team that's sponsored by Fanatec, okay? And you want to bring them over to the Rennsport world. Well, Rennsport, everywhere you look on every track, it says VRS. And they're going to be like, well, no, we're not spending money so you can go drive around and all we see is VRS logos and there's no, like, some models won't be adopted here well at the beginning. And I can see a lot of teams closing. We lose a lot of drivers. And then the domino effect on iRacing. Yes, most of us, the us, aren't affected. But where are all the other people that we watch, we get data packs from, you know, all this funding, the teams, like we saw Race Clutch today, right? They're you know, a big, well-managed team across iRacing. We can lose teams like that. We lose the management. They lose their sponsors, and then yeah, the domino effect knocks down. And I don't think people realise the ramifications it can cause. Yes,
Sure.
Yeah, you might think I'm not in the esport world and I don't care about it, so it doesn't affect me, but it does.
Yeah. Yeah, could be a big change. It will take time.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Yeah, this could be something that occurs. We'll see what happens with it. I think we'll move on to IndyCar and motorsport games. We've held off talking about it for about half an hour. We could have opened with this, but I think the last week's subject was IndyCar to iRacing, so we didn't really feel like having IndyCar again in the video title. I'd say this is news. Well, some may say, well, didn't this happen last week? But I thought this might genuinely drag out longer because last week we had news that Motorsport Australia had been shut down, and that meant that the IndyCar game could no longer be developed because it wasn't being developed by Motorsport Games Australia. This week, the confirmation has come from IndyCar, and this is pretty much the news. IndyCar has said that Motorsport Games have failed to satisfy certain of its obligations under the IndyCar license agreement, including making IndyCar racing series video gaming products available in the United States. Basically, it's the exact same as TOCA, where they have given a license to make a game. They have proceeded not to make a game, and therefore they have broken the agreement, and they have been able to terminate the agreement, and the IndyCar license is now available to be taken by someone else.
Just copy and paste me from last week and the week before and the week before. I don't know what to say. I just can't believe. I can understand they've been obviously having management issues, financial issues, but why haven't they? It seems like Motorsport Games didn't even try to address this behind the scenes. Like maybe, you know, give the license back, you give some money back, you try and pour water in it and calm this fire down. That they are just, I don't know if they actually think that bad press, all press is good press, but you're taking it too far when it's always bad press and it's always big names that are shouting at you. This isn't like some Twitter troll. This is Penske, IndyCar, Towcar. These are, and to be honest, as far as I can see, they haven't done anything. All I can see is they go into a meeting with the licensee, they grab a few screenshots from R Factor and go, this is what we can build you. We're almost through development. And they're like, wow, like this is nearly done. Like, yeah, this is nearly done. And this will work on Xbox. And that's when they start going, sure. Wait, you said Xbox? Yeah, we'll get that done.
This was from the racer.com, and this was the entire article. It's pretty much all I read on it, honestly. I think this pretty much sums it up. This is where I got the quote from. And yeah, that was pretty much it.
I just don't like, I've defended them. I've not approved of the things they're doing, but I just cannot believe I don't want to use the wrong word. They haven't apologized to the fans that now don't get an IndyCar game for a year, who couldn't do anything with IndyCar. Same with Toka. They're not delivering their games. And they just put out an announcement for Le Mans Ultimate, like what I'm rooting for. It's driving me nuts because it's not financial. All the words we could use, it's just poor management. It's just some rich dude who doesn't care about the ramifications of the little guy. And yeah, anyway, I could go on for a week spilling this.
Oh, we will do. I'm sure there'll be news next week.
It's just getting to the point where I'm getting angry about it now.
Do you guys think Le Mans Ultimate will get a release? Well, yeah, I was about to say, I do think it will do. I'm fairly positive about Le Mans Ultimate because
Studio 397 rocks.
Whilst Motorsport Games owns different studios, we shouldn't overlap them too much. Motorsport Games Australia, which designed Kartcraft, they have been they're not a thing anymore. But obviously, Le Mans Ultimate is being designed by Studio 397, who make R Factor 2. And R Factor 2 is fine. It's got a new online system recently. There's not really much sign of R Factor 2 being in trouble, not much sign of Studio 397 being in trouble. I think it will release fine. Will it be the best game ever? I'm not quite sure, but I think it will be fine. So
I'm hopeful as well. But this is it. This is it now. This is the last straw for me.
Well, of course, it's their last license.
They'll find something.
A month ago, I think, they had NASCAR, IndyCar, BTCC, and WEC. They now have WEC. That's the only thing left. It's gone gone down.
Wow, when you put it like that.
So that is the last thing that they
Well,
own.
the WEC, I suppose the Le Mans 24 is part of the WEC license, right?
Yeah. So that's what I meant, at least.
No,
yeah.
you're right. Yeah, you're right. I was just checking it wasn't 2 licenses.
Yeah, it might be called the Le Mans license, to be fair.
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure.
We need it to work, though. We can't, we need competition. I always say this. We can't just let iRacing sit on their laurels. They have been sat on their laurels for a while now. We just can't let them keep getting away with it. Like when there's a brake dragging patch, they just patch it. When the grass, people were calling their tyres on the grass, they made grass hot. Yeah. They made grass hot and they left it there. It's still there. Go out there on telemetry, guys. Drive around the middle of the track for, say, 5 laps, dead middle of the track, okay? Come in. Look at your telemetry, everything. Now do it again, but drive close to the grass. Not on the grass, a foot away for 5 laps. Your left side tyres will be hotter because that warm grass is heating up your tyres.
Yeah.
And that's how they fix it. And they'll leave it like that until the next exploit. Insane. We need competition.
Sort of on this topic, Kartcraft now has no staff because obviously Motorsport Games Australia isn't a thing. There is no one to help develop Kartcraft anymore, which is a shame. I really hope someone buys up Motorsport Games Australia because obviously it's a studio which made Kartcraft, which is a generally well-received game.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, of course they were developing IndyCar, and hopefully they'll have projects to go, or at least the employees at least will be hired by other companies and they can continue making quality stuff. Nick in chat saying I still think it's vaporware which won't hit Steam next year. Very possible, has anyone driven it? I don't know, so maybe it doesn't exist. And Crunch Time will be the supposed E-series to go with.
Correct.
And yes, agree, the competition is good, but the competition needs to be good.
He's right. Crunched. If they can't get the Le Mans 24 together, that level of broadcast they had before that, and this time it go well, then the game is pointless.
Yeah.
If it's
And
just
of course, like motorsport games will be pointless as well because like what do they do now? Like they develop Le Mans Ultimate. Well, that's being done by Studio 397. The one good thing that motorsport games have done is the Le Mans Ultimate because sorry, the virtual Le Mans because that they organize a lot of that, getting those big names in, organizing the broadcasts and stuff. If they don't do that anymore, then they're like, what are you doing at that point?
Mark's saying it's just going to be our factor of a new look in the eye.
Absolutely, Mark.
100%.
But
that's all we want.
It will be released. You know, like,
if
that's
it's
a win.
Yeah, if it's not buggy, it's easy to change driver. The track scans look good. We get access to the Ferrari GTP.
Has some
LMT
level of online.
has non-crashy servers.
Yeah.
Then give us wet. We have rain. Remember, rain is in our factor. It's just there.
Yeah. Like if that was BTCC, that's what we were saying. That's what the BTCC game should have been. Just R Factor with a different UI. So yeah, no, that would be a win. Mark, you're thinking of a dreamland right now. That is what we want.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's the best case scenario in all this. It's not going to be anything new.
The thing that's cropping up with them is they keep saying yes to these console licenses. Because they own R Factor, right? They can just, if it's BTCC, you want a BTC PC game? Yeah. All right, guys, copy and paste R Factor, delete all the cars but the BTC, delete all the tracks but the tracks needed. Give us a UI that looks BTCC and shove it to them.
Yeah.
But no, then they're going, we want Xbox and PlayStation. They go to the studio and we're like, can we do that? And they're like, no. They're like, well, can't you just R Factor? No. You need to get another studio. That's the Motorsport or Australia. They turn around and go, we can't build an IndyCar game in 6 months.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want us to do? But yeah, it needs to be consistent work. We want access to, I don't know. I'm hopeful, but it is my last hope.
Yes.
I'm done.
And it's their last hope. Shall we move on?
Yeah, the only thing is obviously we're seeing an outcry for IndyCar back to iRacing, which I agree, but people need to understand why it went.
Yeah, temper your expectations.
Yeah, it's the console. Yes, it's good exposure for IndyCar and racing. But notice the word I used, exposure. Do you know the word they want? Millions of dollars.
Yes. Which any game company, any company wants, you know? Like, and you can't get millions of dollars from a game which has had 1 million users over the course of 15 years.
Correct. Yes, it's fun that it gets a bit exposure on the Indy 500, and we have the IndyCar, say, esports series and the IndyCar officials, but that is just exposure. I mean, they want an Xbox title that IndyCar fans spend $59.99 on, and parents buy it for their kids. Bam, that's $4 million.
Exactly. Don't anticipate. Hopefully they'll split it so there's like an esports license for iRacing and maybe a console license for someone else. But don't get too excited about that one.
Who's going to buy it without the exclusivity? If they let iRacing do it and try and sell it to a console, the console's like, do we get exclusivity?
It's not big enough.
No.
Like if it was F1, they could get away with it.
100%. Yeah, 100%. People always ask, why don't we get Monaco to iRacing? I'm like, well, because F1 involved, so you just need to find that £15 million up front to sit at the table with them to ask.
Yeah, don't waste 15 mil on Monaco iRacing. Spend it on something else.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's everything. Shame. This is the nature of the beast at the moment. Console. We'll keep hearing, but I don't get it. Controller games, you're never going to touch Forza and all those types of games, Gran Turismo. They're controller games. Do you really want to do Indy 500 with a controller?
Yeah, that sounds all right, to be fair.
All right.
Doing some visual comedy for those.
You get finger ache when you trigger finger holding it down for... Yeah, no. No.
I mean, we're speaking... Oh, what a sad thing to do to just tilt your thumb. Meanwhile, we're just going like that for the entire time. Like, what a loser goes like that. Real people go like that.
Not unless you've got a Formula room. You have to drop this elbow and hold just your leg. You can't keep your arm up there.
No, it's... Oh, yeah, of course, yeah. Sure, yeah.
You just drop, yeah. That's how you do it, mate.
The butt kicker 24 Hours of Silverstone is coming up. Is this the second 24 Hours of Silverstone?
Yeah.
I believe, yeah. Set up by... It's a Motorsports UK.
Motorsport UK. You don't say Motorsport Games.
So easy.
I know. Yeah, this went. I did this last year. I'm doing it again this year. Well organized event. They try and match it to the IRL. Last year, I think we had Mazdas, TCRs, and GT3s. This year, it's TCRs, GT4s, GT3s. Bit of a strange selection of GT3s, but I spoke to them and they wanted to. They don't have the Ferrari 296 at this event IRL, so to keep it in line, we have the 480 Evo, which is going to be exciting.
Various organisations reporting on this, including Traction.gg.
The former.
Yes. I don't know when it's going to stop, Traction.gg. Maybe December the 31st. Not quite sure. It is, entries cost £25. You need to be 18 years of age. And you need to have, each team needs to have a Motorsport UK's esports membership. That's about 20 quid a year, I believe. And you do get a lot of stuff like discounts on whatever. You get entered into loads of different events. It's actually worth it, is that subscription.
The reason for the age, if you're wondering, it's because
SimGrid.
SimGrid organise.
The SimGrid.
Yeah, they handle the sign up.
Yes.
And that's just one of their rules.
And also 3 classes, GT3, GT4, TCR. Did you say that before?
Yep, that's
Yeah,
fine.
you said that before. And it will be live stewarding, broadcast by Rennsport TV. And yeah, some prizes as well, some pretty neat prizes as well for the.
Yeah, I'll
drivers.
bring in the prize the week after to show you what it's like to get the winning. Yeah, I'll bring in the winner's trophy. I'll borrow it from who wins and give it back to them after.
Oh. I won the BSR Radical Winter Series Championship. I've won 2 championships, so don't taunt me, yeah? Because
Okay.
I'd beat you.
Here we go.
I think that's everything on that one.
Yeah, I just thought we'd give a mention.
No, yeah, it'll be a big event. It's worth watching. 2nd of December.
Yeah. Okay, what we got next?
This is the last sim racing news.
Oh, right, yeah.
Team Redline and Red Bull Racing Esports are collaborating with one another. Of course, Team Redline, Verstappen, a big name
Yes.
in Team Redline. Red Bull Racing Esports, Verstappen, a big name in Red Bull. It's as a match made in heaven.
It is. Well, the only thing it's missing is that clear tie to a manufacturer. Because obviously, Redline used the BMW a lot. But what a Red Bull and BMW.
Shall we start some new Audi or Porsche Red Bull links? That comes up every couple of years. How Audi or Red Bull are gonna, Audi or Porsche are gonna buy Red Bull. We could just start that.
Audi, the new owner, he has nothing he wants to do with racing. I think Audi are going to be done in the terms of racing. I think in as little as 12 months.
Well, it's all going to be luxury cars, I think, from now on. Luxury electric cars.
Luxury electric cars.
Yes.
Oi, oi, oi. It's a shame. I don't love the direction Audi's gone. Porsche rumours I could see.
No, don't buy into the Porsche rumours.
I don't want to see it.
It's honestly I don't remember a time when Porsche haven't been linked to Formula One at least once a year. And it never happens. And I hope it never does because I get annoyed with Porsche.
They were confident about entering F1. Right? Very as confident as Audi. Audi, ironically, this story goes weird, doesn't it? Audi made the commitment, at the beginning. Porsche's confidence came from the fact they knew they had so much money they could buy Red Bull. That was it. They were so confident. Then they sat down the meeting and Horner was like, 50% of what? The F1 team? No, the whole thing. And he just was like, no, mate. This is us. This is you. Yeah, you're a big company. You're doing great. But this is us. Look at us. We've got the next... We're going to win the championship till 2028. Easy. And not just easy. It's never been easier. Why? Because the other teams are all tripping over each other. Like, I know no one would have beat Red Bull in this last year, but the gap isn't just the pace. The gap is there is no P2 team. It started out as Ferrari, then it was Aston Martin for a phase, and then they let Mercedes...
For a bit, McLaren now.
McLaren now, yeah. I can't remember last time we had a battle for P2 this intense.
Yeah.
And if McLaren are doing it, then Mercedes are doing something wrong. I mean, they were being beaten by Aston Martin at one point.
I mean, they were last week, weren't they? Well, they were being beaten by everyone. It's Sao Paulo.
So it's a good partnership. Obviously, the rumours came about at the end of the ESR one season, ready for a new, fresh season, which could be really exciting. Perhaps Red Bull are just hoping this ESL curve kicks off. It's crazy that a Caddy engine is going to be introduced before a Porsche Audi. That's from Mark. Yes, actually, I wish we could chat about F1 news on this. We should just do an F1 segment.
Wait, what? Cadillac are joining
F1
with Andretti?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
A full... Before, it was a Cadillac badge on the side of the car, and everyone was like, yeah, we're not being fooled, right? It's just a sponsor. GM came forward and said, we are going to develop an F1 engine, but I think it's for 2028.
Sure.
But they've committed to it. Hopefully more than Audi. But yeah, we're going to see a Cadillac engine.
Let us know in chat. Should there be an 11th F1 team? Everyone has an opinion on that. I vote yes, but not an overwhelming yes.
They cannot stand against Cadillac and GM. I'm sorry. Haas and everyone had a say because they were there at the beginning. They went for the rough times panic, all that. Their vote is not counted when it's GM. I'm sorry. Who are Haas? A Ferrari parts dealership with 2 drivers that have been fired multiple times. They don't have a say. I'm sorry. So their vote doesn't count, which means they're in. They have to be in. It's a proven, successful race team. Haas can't say that. They're a tractor company that buys Ferrari parts. And we're bringing one of the largest engine manufacturers into the game. That's also American, which that's all F1 cares about right now.
Yeah. That's the market that they need to be going into. I'm just looking at the official announcement on Oracle Red Bull Racing. Hang on, what's it called? No, redbullracing.com. About the merger with Redline. The merger brings a new team and logo. The merger brings a new team name and logo for Oracle Red Bull Sim Racing, and will see Team Redline preside over the performance management of Oracle Red Bull Sim Racing ahead of this year's Formula 1 Esports Series Pro Championship. With a focus on nurturing and developing talent, a dedicated Oracle Red Bull Sim Racing performance facility will also be created in the Team Redline HQ. Not sure. Do Redline have a HQ? I feel dumb for asking that. I don't think they do.
I don't think they do. It's us, Coanda, and there is another that has sort of a sim center. Can't think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not Alt. No, Altus don't have one, do they?
No.
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Good investment being brought into it, and yes,
because that's the impression I'm getting with ESL and Rennsport. There's a lot of money, lots of rumours about next season. Like, I think it's worth the investment. Yes. Is it a wing and a prayer? Yes. Are they targeting the right markets and audience? Yes.
Is it a drop in the ocean for Red Bull? Yes.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
So yeah,
but then
there's no loss for them. You know, they can invest, and
yeah,
who cares if it doesn't work out?
I just don't feel like this was. If people are sat here in chat thinking, "Oh, this is a good investment for Petit Le Mans," no, they don't. I don't think iRacing special events is what they care about. Pesk, what is that? 20 odd grand. Again, don't think that's what it's about. ESL doing £1 million at Saudi and all the brand awareness on a global scale, possibly. Because if Verstappen's not going to compete in ESL, but if they start getting big names and big brands like Red Bull and stuff, then it could draw the crowds.
Yeah, that would be
McLaren
big.
Shadow. Yeah, true, but they just don't do a lot.
I don't know what series they race in.
No,
not
Shadow,
anymore. But I think that's my ignorance.
Same.
More than anything, but yes. So I think that draws to a close the sim racing news section of the podcast.
Yep.
Next up is the Apex Racing team news. So, Apex Racing team, what results have gone on in the past week? Well, of course, last week we had the fantastic round at Daytona. More fantastic rounds. I say fantastic rounds. We finished 5th in the championship, agonizingly. It was very annoying.
So close to 3rd,
wasn't it?
wasn't it?
Prize money was at stake. But yes, we were so good at the end of the season. We just came up a little bit short, and credit to Williams and Redline for finishing 3rd and 4th, and obviously RHG winning and Quanda in 2nd. However, next week, DreamHack is going on. The drivers fly out on Wednesday. The event, I believe, is on Friday and Saturday next week. 24 drivers, the top 24 from the regular season, from the online rounds, go to DreamHack Jönköping in Sweden, which is a big PC gaming festival. ESL One is one of the several events which is going on.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
And at the end of it, someone becomes a lot richer. If you finish in the top 12, you get decent prize money. When I say decent prize money, I mean any prize money. Top 6 really is what the drivers will be hoping for, to get a nice amount of cash. And of course, if you can win, then you make yourself a fair bit richer. I think it's 50k, but I might be wrong.
I don't actually know for this one. Yeah, I think it's around that for the win. On the driver, you talk, because the team championship is all decided now. This is just the drivers.
We have a document which I'm not going to share on screen.
Did you say share?
No, you do.
Your face. It's right. They won't have your last 3 digits on the card. You'd forget that. They have the front bit. They're not going to get anything from that.
I'm really cautious on this stuff. I was going to share the points. Hopefully Lewis Ward isn't listening along anymore, because he shared me this and I'm doing an absolute mess at finding it. Oh no, I'm in the marketing section, sporting section. Could that be it? Man, this is a long document, but I appreciate it.
I'm sure all the drivers have all read this.
Yeah, so many tables I'm going through. I think I found it. So the points get sort of reset by percentage. So Joe, because he won the whole thing, gets 100 points. Rogers, because he scored 90% of the points of Joby, gets 90 points, and everyone down from that. So Lerner only gets 23 points because he scored 23% of the points. However, it's genuinely quite close, and I think a bit closer than what some of the drivers were anticipating, which means it's good news for the guys who are from 13th to 24th, because they're like, brilliant. We can actually win a couple of races on day one, get into the top 12. Bad news for the guys in the top 12, because I think, we're catchable now. We might not actually get into day 2. After all...
Did I hear day 1 can be achieved with a win?
Yeah, so if you finish in 13th to 24th, but you win a race, then you get straight into day 2. Unpopular opinion, and I made some very unpopular opinions last week when it came to ESL last week.
Yes, you did.
I like it.
So, chat, think about it, right? This season has been a long, grueling season, okay? And you get to the LAN, you're sitting P4 in the championship, and a guy in 11th picks up a win on day 1. They are through to the following day. They are through to the finals. And then if there are 4 winners outside, say, the top...
It's top 12.
Yeah, outside the top 12, only now 8 of them can qualify through to the day. It's insanity.
I think it's... I don't mind it. Meritocracy can go away. And instead, let's have... I think it's...
Because the final's different, right? The final's the format we all love, that Rennsport have pioneered, that I love. You then have to achieve X amount of points. I forget what it is, right? But then when you achieve it, you then have to get a win. No, sorry. Once you achieve the points, you lock in what's called finalist mode, and then a win wins you the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so if you get enough points and you don't get the win, then someone else gets enough points. These two now need a win to win the whole thing. I did because I didn't understand it when I was at Munich. I'm sat there starting to learn it.
Why is this still going? He's just won a race.
Yeah, there were so many races.
Yeah.
But I tell you what, did it get the crowd going? Honestly, it got the crowd going. But then again, if the guy in front of you, okay, is in finalist mode and he's leading and you're P2, there's no penalty they can give you. None. Because it's all over if he wins. The whole thing's over if that guy wins.
It's entertaining, isn't it?
Yeah, I loved it.
It works great. But that's the same, I would argue, with this day 1 qualification. If you're P2 and you're 14th in the standings and you need to win a race in order to get through, you're going to bomb it.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be...
What are they going to do? Take points away? I'm 14th, I ain't got any points, mate.
Not winning any money. That is a waste of time, me coming here. I don't even like the snow here in Sweden. I hate the cold.
It's going to be cold, yeah.
And so you're gonna send it, right?
Yeah. No, I mean, they seem to know how to entertain at a LAN event, so I'll give them credit. I'm sure it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
And
how many people from 13th down to 24th do you think will get a race win? How many people? You don't think any?
Nope.
I'll go for 1.
No, I am so confident 0 now because, I mean, if you're in a group with Sebi, he's pole. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sebi will be tricky to beat.
I
full
was
stop.
putting Rogers and Sebi in this elite group, but there is now such a gap. Yes, it's Sebi up on his own throne, and then Rogers, but Rogers is now really close. You know, like Jamie has, or like the back half of this season has shown that he can go toe to toe with Rogers. He's shown he can keep up with Sebi, but in qualifying, I've seen the guys' reaction to some of Sebi's. I can't say much, but Kev was just saying. Kev was struggling for words to describe Sebi's driving. He was just like he said it's just different to us. How can an esports guy? That's how I describe Kevin to other people, and Kevin's describing Sebi like that.
So Chinchik to win the whole thing.
He is an impressive dude. He hasn't had the best second half of the season, which is the momentum you want going into a LAN. He can. There's not many people who can just rack up the win, and that's why I say no outside the top 12. So Sebi can slap in a win, yes.
So the lineup is, let's see how many.
Oh, you got the
names
groups.
People know. Job, Rogers, Toman, McCormack, Chinchik, Bennett, Fluke, Warren, Ellis Jr., Siggy, Oliveira. Oliveira's done well, hasn't he? Beneke, Hearth, Yayovsky, Reitfeld, Wisniewski, Brzezowski, Tatala, Kazorbon, Huis, House, De Jong, Baldwin, Lerner, Price. I want to be edgy here. I'll go for...
What are we guessing? Who wins each group, or what? Who wins the whole thing?
I don't think the groups matter too much on day 2.
No, I don't think
so. Well, I mean, I'll be positive. I'll go for Kev to win the whole thing.
That's what I said for Munich. The win the whole thing.
Yeah, because I'm not going to go for Seb, and I think if I go for anyone else, I think, but behind that, I think Kev is. Well, I'd say the top man to beat is Job. I'd say the next group is Rogers, Toman, McCormack, and Chinchik. Then I would say the next group is Bennett, Warren, Jamie, Kev, maybe Johan, probably Siggy in that. Beneke certainly in that. Maybe Baldwin if he can get back on form.
I don't think Toman's got a chance, and this isn't against Toman. I think he's proved he's one of the best in the world.
Well, I mean, he won Monza 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I know, but Sebi knows how to win all the time. Rogers knows how to win all the time. McCormick knows how to win all the time. Chinzik knows how to win all the time. Luke, Bennick, and Toman do not. Jamie, I love Jamie. His second half of the season has been amazing. Can he win all the time? That's just what I'm saying. Some of the drivers are lacking that. Like Dane Warren, he can put it on pole whenever he wants.
Yeah,
I don't care who he's against.
He's the second best qualifier in the series.
Yeah, but can he win all the time? No. So this is the problem with that LAN event. You've got to win. You've got to. It has to happen. It can't happen because you're almost there. It has to happen right then and there. Otherwise,
so
Sebastian
it's
Job
that
is going
win at the end.
Yeah, correct. That's it. That's
decided. Okay.
You get into that finalist mode, but if Sebi's also got finalist mode and he puts it on pole and you're P4, it's over.
Yeah.
It's Rennsport. It's very hard to pass. And Sebi's qualifying is just, yeah. Jamie's performance have peaked now. He is running, he said, the best he's ever driven in his life. And Kevin as well is an absolute animal who knows nothing but winning. Johan's driving very well. I mean, there's so many good drivers. When you're seeing people like Max Beneke not get a mention in mine and Sam's talk there, you go to show the level that we're at now is getting ridiculous.
Yeah, it's strong, isn't it?
And just, the biggest problem they all have is Sebi is just, he's found another gear. Because it was Chinzik, Baldwin, like in Munich, there was 2 of them. And then there was Sebi and Josh Rogers, but Rogers just doesn't have Sebi's level now.
No. And he's only getting better and better. He is one of the newest drivers to the sim. So he is very, very good as Seb. And it's definitely the man to beat going into the LAN. We'll see how well he copes with the LAN environments as well. It's different to the online.
But yeah, so my prediction, is Kev to win the whole thing.
Wow. Come on, now I've got to change my opinion. I want to be edgy.
No.
I'm going to go for Johan instead.
Sorry.
Yeah, but you think Seb's going to win? in reality.
Yeah, Sebi's going to win. Yeah,
Kev's going to win.
Kev's going to win.
In terms of other results for Apex Racing team, here was the results for IMSA on Sunday. Good
The
results
IMSA esports.
for the 101, who went from 14th place to the podium, managed to finish in 2nd place. So congratulations to them guys. Yes, so yeah, P2, P5, and P8. Solid results. Next race in December, because it's a short championship, only 4 rounds. So yes, that will be coming up soon. So good job to the guys there.
Yep.
A couple of messages in the chat as well. Nick and Mark saying Jamie to see you win the whole thing. So good that we got some Jamie supports up there. I think he'll appreciate.
He's driving well.
That one. He is driving very well. 2nd and a 1st in the final 3 races. It's very good.
He was. He went toe with Sebi. He actually proved he finished closer to Sebi than P3 finished to Jamie. It's no joke. And he had him for the last couple. He had Sebi's pace, but it's like I said, qualifying. How do you get him? How do you get near him in quali?
Elsewhere in Apex Racing team, we've also had British F4. Disappointing stuff for Peter Berryman, unfortunately. Yeah, you'll remember that he started the season really good. Built up a lead basically in the first 2 rounds. Fortunately, he's actually gone now. So he finished P3 and a DNF. Actually means that Corby is now leading the F4 Championship with 2 rounds to go.
Who drives it from here in the Sim Centre?
Who drives from here in the Sim Centre. Luke, I believe, now is 2nd place in the championship, and Pete is 3rd. The 3 of them could still change around. It's like 20 points between them. And I think it's a F1 point system, basically. So it can swap very quickly. Pete's still got a chance, but I really want Pete to win that series because he was very close last season. Luke won it anyway last season, so it was still a good result for us. It was good that Luke won it of all people. And honestly, if it weren't for an Apex driver, a proper Apex driver, at least when it comes to this series, Corby would be the best man to win. But yeah, hopefully Pete can get back on form.
The whole Corby thing is just a restriction of the series, right?
I honestly don't know what the situation is.
Oh, okay.
To be honest, I like to make the decisions around here, but unfortunately,
I don't think they want the 9 of the cars to be Apex. I think.
Yeah,
I think that.
Well, you certainly can't have more than two drivers per team. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Turn Corby's rig off mid-race. I wouldn't dare walk near him while he's competing.
I think Corby could beat me up as well. I think he'd really beat me up. In the Grand Prix. Oh, hang on. What's it called? Turn back on your mic.
Oh, sorry, I was getting a drink. Oh, for God's sake, it's a long name. The Delara IRO1 Grand Prix turn something racing.
That's close enough.
Yes.
Michele Constantini with another race win. He's been in good form recently. Ben Fuller in P3. Also Michael and Daniel Suisabo in P9 and P10. And Gail and Manel in 7th and 5th. Really good results. It's a bit of a shame that series it hasn't gone better for us because the second half of the season's actually been really good. We've been winning almost every race. I think we won 3 of the last 4 races, and the one that we didn't win was on an oval, so it's eh. So we've been really good. A bit of a shame that we didn't start so well, unfortunately. Yes, that was the Turn Racing Championship, or whatever it's called. I think that covers everything.
So you asked me because you didn't know the name.
I didn't know the name. Because on Lewis's graphics, it just says Grand Prix Series results, but I know that's not the name.
It's a long name, remember? It's
Turn Racing Grand Prix Series.
IRO1.
Has it got IRO1? Has it got Delara in it?
I don't
know. So that was Apex Racing team. So I need to check. Was really bad of me. I'm not sure if that was the last round of the championship. Turn Racing iRacing.
I think it was
Grand Prix.
Hello to Marto. Marto said hello.
Hello. To the
who is
6-time champion. More on that later.
So who is it we're talking to if you're passing the messages on to Marteau? Or are you Marteau?
That's Aaron Smith.
Oh, Aaron. Hello, Aaron. There you go.
Sorry, I'm looking for results. Oh, iRacing probably haven't even updated the results because they're rubbish at updating points. Points. Ah, where are the points? Come on, give me something. Here we go, standings. I can find this. I'm in a panic. I should have
You're in
prepared
a call
more.
with the man himself. Let's go.
I don't think they've updated the points because I swear Lemonek's been on 135 for the last 5 weeks.
Think it was the last round. I think.
Oh no, Michele's got 2 wins here, so maybe it was the last round.
Yeah,
anyway, Lemonek won the title ahead of Toth, Tien, Nunez. Constantini was in a strong 5th. Manel, who won a race, was in 7th. JV in 10th. Sorry, I should probably show this. There's the results. Ben in 11th, Michael in 12th, Daniel in 15th. So it could have been better for us. I think the guys, when it comes to next season, they'll all be thinking, yeah, we can win it. It's a random
I'm thinking
series.
I can win it.
Yeah?
Yeah, no.
Genuinely, you could probably qualify.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's being a compliment, Dave. Come on, you're a World Championship level driver. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
ESL R1. Well, you're better than some of the drivers in ESL R1.
100%.
You're better than one of the drivers in ESL R1. But, yeah, you could definitely get into that one. Go for it.
I'm going to go for
You're
it.
going to win PESC GB, aren't you, next year?
What, the Rennsport one or the iRacing one?
Oh. Rumour mill. Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. So, yes. You'll win either one, though, right?
In pro, you're racing, right? Rumour is
Yeah,
you're
but in
racing.
AM.
Yeah, but you'd be on the track.
Yeah.
Me, you, and
You're
Lewis.
helping me. Yeah, because Lewis, we might even rope in a couple of other Apex guys to help me win the AMs and just biff everyone else off. Because I'm such low iRacing that I can still be an AM and win like...
Is it 5K?
I can win like 5k, but like you also win like 100 quid a round.
I know. Kev, when I mentioned to one of the guys about doing it, oh, you be AM, you'll walk away with that. And I was like, no, I'm 5.8, 5.9k. They're like,
It's like 5.5 is...
their face was almost like, oh, well.
Yeah.
Sebi's going to show up and just dominate and leave. I'm like, oh, does he do that?
Nick's saying, are you as low as me, Sam? Nope. That is not the case. Nick, the lowest I-rated driver in the Porsche Cup Series, 1.3k is Nick. Next lowest is 1.8k. So
Let's go for it next year, though. Let's get that pro license. Pro license. That for me it'd be PESC or what's the other one? That's it nowadays, isn't it? Contenders.
Or PESC and Turn.
Oh, that one.
3. That's a World Championship Series.
Oh, I could win that.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're a World Championship level driver.
I'll qualify for that.
Yeah.
That meme.
Yeah.
And then I'm pro.
Yeah.
And then screenshot it and it's for life.
Yeah.
Smurf account off.
Mm.
Okay, cool. Easy.
I think seeing that we're talking about Nick, let's go through Apex Racing League. First round of Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup was earlier on. I'm actually gonna mesh the Apex Racing TV and Apex Racing League sections together because we have a clip of a very good final lap in Apex Racing Academy Porsche Cup.
Good.
Yes, you can press it. So here was the final lap. Podcast listeners, David will explain to you what he is seeing.
YouTube buffering. So this is Porsche Cup. We at the Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen, yep.
Going 3 wide.
Last lap.
Oh, and this is without the bus stop. Oh, they're leaning on each other, Rennsport style. Oh, but this is iRacing, so 2 of them go off. One recovers with a long run. Who's that got the lead? Who are we watching here?
So Goddestad goes from 4th up into the lead here.
Wow.
I'm exclaiming, Goddestad, he's gone for the lead. Nolder gets him back underneath him, going into the penultimate corner. Nolder trying to go around the outside at the final corner at Watkins Glen. Manages to get past. Then we have the run from Wolfson on his debut, and he makes it 3 wide across the line, but Nolder wins the race. That was Heat 2.
Brilliant.
I will say, genuinely probably one of the best broadcasts I've been involved in.
I want to do a review of the 3 wide
Yeah, sure.
Out of I want to see if there's a penalty to be given. Let me see this. Okay, here we go. Let's review this. The car in the middle wins the race, right?
The car on the inside wins the race.
Okay. Wow. I'll allow it. He did lean. He did track out. I mean, it was 3 wide. He did have to leave space, but he just leant on him Rennsport style.
Yeah, really fun race that. We had the heat format where you had 57 drivers, but we split it in 2 for the heats. So you never had more than 30 cars out on circuit. And all the race, we had 2 lap 1 pile-ups, which would normally be worthy of a highlight, but I just wanted to show that bit. And yeah, it was such intense racing. It was like how you want NASCAR to be in terms of like just slipstreaming all the way.
Yeah.
And trying to overtake, coming down to the last lap. These are 10-minute long races. And yeah, just loads of fun. So much fun to commentate on. Aaron Smith was commentating with me. He's saying in chat, me and Sam were losing our minds. We absolutely were. And Glyn saying the whole AOLP Cup was great to watch. So watch it on Tuesday nights. Nordschleife coming up next week. We've had to change the race format and the start format in order for it to work at the Nordschleife.
Could just change the track and it'll fix all the format.
Yeah, but we have to follow the officials.
Oh,
So,
right.
Also, should be fun, right? As long as it works, like it should be fun.
Yep.
So yeah, looking forward to that one. Other news in Apex Racing League, prototypes finished today. Kia Thiago Marteau became a 6-time Apex Racing League champion. Congratulations to him. Balash Tarowski won in the LMDH AMS. Race Clutch managed to overhaul Effect Simulations to win the LMDH Teams title. We had Dan Sedgley win the LMP3 title. We had also Olympus Esports win the LMP3 Teams title. Congratulations to all of them, particularly Marteau. 6-time Apex Racing League champion is a huge achievement. Leaving...
Only 5 people crossed the pit line to serve a 40-second penalty.
Was it 5? I think it may be more.
Oh my god!
The pit lane entry, what a mess! What a mess!
My favourite. It's going to be. Sorry, it is going to be on. What's his name? Nick
Madsen. Yeah, you've never seen a head buried more deeply in hands.
It just kept dropping and kept dropping,
Yeah.
and then his hands came up, and then he just kept dropping while he sat there for 40 seconds.
Awful time on the pit entry. It's really, really messy. Well, we'll do a compilation, I think, and post it on socials later next week. Also, GT3 trophy sign-ups are open. 32 of the 60 slots are already filled, and it's been open for 4 days. So you will need to sign up probably within the next 7 days in order to sign up. So do go to apexracingleague.com for that. There are different. It's fairly similar to the series that we did a couple of seasons ago, where it's a studio broadcast. Pro-Am, and Am classes. What other information? Man, different race formats, 12 rounds.
Good selection of tracks.
Really good tracks.
No quota.
No quota. Lots of non-European tracks. Out of the last 8 rounds, only 1 of them is a European track. Lots of North American circuits and lots of Japanese circuits. We go to Bathurst as well. I thoroughly recommend signing up at apexracingleague.com for more details. Apex Racing TV, we got some other clips.
David, are you a quota hater? Actually, no. Sorry, it was a bit of a meme with Lewis, who's a quota lover because there's so many haters. But no, I don't hate any track. I don't love racing at quota, but I don't hate it. Quota's more for non-GTs, personally.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, high-speed single-seaters.
Yeah.
IndyCar, quota, pretty good. Here was a nice battle we had. So this is GT3s. This is the Ricmotech World Challenge, round 6 at Monza. And we've got a nice battle between Copperlin and Mike Dam. Mike Dam, an absolute legend. Probably won about 15 times, 15 titles in Ricmotech's series. He has been around since I started commentary, I think about 6 years ago. and Coplin holding on to it. But could he hold on to it to the line? You can see there was a mistake from Coplin at the final corner.
Oh, no.
Gets underneath him. But is that it? Or is there going to be a run to the line? The Merc Power. He storms back ahead. Look at the straight line speed of that thing.
He goes to grab.
Coplin wins.
He took a risk there by jarring left. He has to extend his line. I wonder if extending the line for draft, I think that would be slower than cutting, shortening the line. Do you know what I mean? If you watch that,
I get that. Yeah.
yeah, he goes left, extending the distance to the finish line for a little bit of GT3 draft.
Oh yeah. That didn't help him at all.
No,
Like he was. I didn't know what was in that Mercedes or what was in that BMW, but he was
to be honest,
so much faster.
Could have just been he made a mistake, but managed to get to the power early. Whereas the BMW went down the inside with if they've been driving for what, I don't know how long the race is, but probably didn't have the freshest of rears.
No.
Look at the top three in GT. I assume Mr. Ryan Reisman himself was there. Another legend in chat.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, we do have this clip as well. Was this it? This was the
Yeah, his name's there in third.
Overtaking Dibble.
75 minutes. Oh, this would be a fun thing for me to do. Look at those classes you've picked. This is WEC, GTP, GT3, AM and Pro. This is what I want to see.
Yeah.
Get rid of those.
If you're waiting to race at 1 o'clock in the morning, then you should be good for it.
I'll check the financial contract and see.
Yeah.
75-minute race at 1 in the morning? No, mate.
Well, this is a 90-minute race.
Oh, no. I don't do that anymore.
54 laps of Monza. So that was Rose overtaking and winning the race.
So Mark Custer's in chat there. I've got a 6-hour race with him at 7 in the morning, so I'm going to be tired.
Yeah.
He's qualifying.
Yeah. Yeah, quality is for Vegas is on at 8 in the morning tomorrow. It demonstrates how messed up my sleep schedule is when I generally thought about not waking up at 8 o'clock and waiting for the 10 o'clock repeat, or the 11 o'clock repeat. But no, I am going to wake up. I'm not going to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning for the race. I'll catch the 9 o'clock replay. Sounds more fun. Upcoming streams on Apex Racing TV. The big one. If you want to hear some people go absolutely mad and having a mare on the stream, then tune in on Sunday because we have got, and I will get the charity name right this time. Oh no, I'm not seeing it previewed. I don't want to risk getting the name wrong. I'm even part of the Discord.
I can tell you.
It's not it's part of the Make-A-Wish International.
Drive for Wishes.
Drive for Wishes, but it's part of I'm sorry that I've got the name wrong, and I really need to nail this before Sunday because I'm going to be introducing it. So Drive for Wishes.
Yes.
Charity race, a race like none other because it's a 3 split event and we're covering all 3 splits. So we're going to be following one race for a bit and then we're going to go to another race, then we're going to go into another race and then we're going to cycle around.
Holy
We're
moly.
going to need to make notes and say, all right, so this time it was bloody blah, bloody blah, bloody blah. They pitted at this time and organised. What will probably happen is that we are just having an absolute mare. We're changing commentators throughout anyway, so the passing on of knowledge, it will be like the Polynesians thousands of years ago passing on their knowledge of sailing to the next generation, and that will be the same level of this, where I will need to be passing on that knowledge to Tim Cox to continue the broadcast. And we'll see how it goes, but it's might be a mess. Nick is saying that he's in split 2. Glenn is saying he's in split 2. I assume you're split 1.
Correct, but I recently found out that so is Owen.
Wow. I saw some good teams, actually. There's some really good teams. I got an entry list.
You was mentioning mine, right? You was going to say, oh, look.
Yeah, sure. What team are you? Are you Samsoid?
Samsoid, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see Samsoid on there. But, come on, there's a lot of... channels. One of them I got pinged in earlier on, but I've forgotten it. Maybe it was announcements. That would make sense. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. I think I can share this.
Yeah, I think there is a prettier version. They did like a brochure thing.
Altus. I mean, that's a strong starter. Ava.
Yeah, but they're GT3. I don't have to worry about them.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, good luck to you guys.
FX Simulations World. I think Geodesic are helping organise the event.
They are, yeah.
And
Yeah, I know.
Looking forward to that.
So yeah, competition will definitely be the Hydro Racing Boys, PGZ, Emil. See who's partnered up with. He's fast at Le Mans. And the other, I suppose. I don't know. Scroll up and down. Where's Owen's team? Who's it's not DS. Scroll down. No, you're gonna cheer for Samsung. Definitely. Team PGZ. I don't know what team Owen's under.
Aaron Smith, who is going to be commentating, he's saying he's going to cheer for We'll see how that one goes. He'll be alongside me actually for the second
excellent.
bits.
I've
I'll
kept
be
seat
doing 6 hours of it, I think. I'm really hesitant now to say because I'm going to mislead the viewers.
Which though? There's two of them.
There's
One
two
you need to
ums.
enunciate.
And
Correct.
There's only one extra M. There's not enough distinction. Man, I appreciate the joke, but honestly, before the race even started, it's getting a bit old. And I think it's just going to be more of a pain than anything. Again, I've said it, and I'm really thinking about it. End of the podcast, I think.
Yep, it's been a good one. Almost record time again. We keep pushing it.
1 hour 20?
Yeah.
It's not bad, is it?
It's not bad.
We'll see how you get on next week. Hopefully there'll be no sim racing news. Have a nice pause. A ceasefire on it, and then come back
Fresh.
and everything's happening again. Because I probably
Motorsport
won't be here
games.
next week. Yeah. I'll be disappointed. I think it'll probably be Alex Simpson who'll be sat here instead of me next week. He was very good the last time he was on here, talking about recollecting about F1 2010 and
Yep.
doing league racing and whatever, and talking about the olden days, which unfortunately I have no insights on. But you'll get that insights for him next week. Nick saying see you on Sunday. Have a good one. Have a good one, Nick, and have a good one as well for Porsche Cup. I should actually say, and this applies to you as well, David, we're going to be doing interviews throughout that charity broadcast. So do make sure to have a chat a few times during the event.
What I've got to do? Tell me what to do. And by telling me, others here.
That's a good idea. Go to the Apex Racing TV Discord and then go to the interview waiting channel. And I'll probably be in the comms channel, and you'll see below that interview waiting channel 1 probably. Sit in that, and then we'll jack you up. It will be a lovely time. Nick, I expect to see you there as well. We didn't give you an interview the other day on Tuesday, but this is your chance to get up in the comms box.
Well, you've got me on Discord. DM me. If I see it light
Can
up.
I drag you up whilst you're driving?
Oh,
No, it's all right. I want you to win.
yes, you
But-
can. You can.
No, well, I don't want to put you off, and I don't
In
want
the
you to
Porsche
be
curves.
angry.
Hello, David. Oh, whoa.
If you sit in the
I will
interview
never get
waiting
angry.
area,
Yep.
then we'll drag you up. I'll leave it up to you, and then you can't blame me
No.
if we do drag you up.
Perfect.
Thank you for watching along, and
Yes.
Aaron's saying by Christmas it will be 2 hours long. No, Aaron, we're getting shorter. I think is how it's going at the moment. Is it getting shorter or longer?
Longer.
It's getting longer, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It always sort of is the same length, though, isn't it? But man, it's
Yeah,
like,
for sure. We just chat so long about motorsport
Just chat
games.
so
When they
long.
sort themselves out, this show's done.
yeah,
What the earth are we going to talk about?
yeah, more WRC. That was boring, wasn't it? We were talking about that. Don't want that again. Anyway, I think that's pretty much us. Here comes the awkward part of me turning off and us waving. Goodbye. Thank you for listening. If you're on podcasts, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, we appreciate you following on. Watch next week and watch all the weeks of the late Apex.